Hello and welcome to the Jungle Garden in Denmark. Now the weather is finally so good that we can actually start on the first jobs in the garden for this year. As we still have a risk of frost during the nights, we haven't removed the polystyrene boxes yet, and the heat cables are still here as well, and that does limit what we actually can do out here, but we'll make a start. As always, we've got our Paulownia tomentosa that we coppice every spring, and that's why they get so big leaves, and this year will be no exception. We've got 3 of them, and this year I've decided to do something different. We've got this one, and that is never coppiced because it is standing here with the bench, and if we coppice it, we don't have a tree for a long time. So this one I have decided to coppice exactly the same way as we always do. It is cut down to about 15 centimeters above the ground. It's been done for so many years now, so it doesn't really look very pretty around the trunk and ground level, so we might as well do the same thing as always. This one I have decided to cut down in 3 different heights. It's got 3 stems or trunks, so I'll just give them 3 different heights just to see what happens. And I plan to do the same with this one catalpa. I'll cut it down in 3 different sizes or heights, and then we'll just have to see if it will affect the size of the leaves. And this is how it ended, the one in 3 different levels. And then we'll just have to see if it's going to be really ugly or if it's okay. And if it is really ugly, then I'll just cut them down to the ground, as always, next year. The cats just love sitting on top of the polystyrene boxes, and they even climb into them. And I'm always afraid that they can't get out, but they always do. When we coppiced the Paulownia, it was still quite cold at night, so we hadn't started unpacking the polystyrene boxes, but we have begun now. And as you can see on this eucalyptus, it's done quite well here in winter. It's only been the trunk that has been protected by polystyrene. The leaves have been outside because last year we found out that it did not like to have the leaves packed into a box, and they have taken a bit of damage, but all in all I think the tree looks good. I'm busy putting some homemade mulch into the beds. It is horse manure that has been lying under a tarp for 3 years, and it's just become really nice compost. But it's quite wet, which is strange because it's been under a tarp, and that makes it a bit hard to get on the shovel and get off the shovel. And I suppose it's extra hard for me because I can't move my legs. But I'm pretty sure the plants will love it. So now this bed is just ready to get growing. In this big empty space there used to be a couple of Musa bashu banana plants, but they were some of those we just didn't get protected in time, so they just froze back to the ground. They might shoot again, or they might not, but we have some we dug up and took inside, so we can always plant some new ones. The cordylines have been unwrapped as well, or unpacked, and are looking good. The tips of the leaves have been damaged a little, but not very much, and yeah, they've got these brown leaves down the bottom of the trunk, but they always do, and I'll just remove them. We've got a few more around in the garden, and they all look really good. So that's nice. And now we are here, we could have a little look at the plants and see what's been going well and what hasn't fared so well during winter. This is Mahonia soft caress, and it's looking really good, but it has also been sheltered a little, I think, by the polystyrene boxes around it, if you compare to other Mahonia soft caress in the garden. And as you can see, this Mahonia soft caress has been damaged during the winter, which is a bit strange because it has actually been right next to a polystyrene box, which has sheltered it a bit from the winds, because this albizia has had a box around it. We've just unpacked it, and it should have given it some shelter to the Mahonia, but apparently not enough. And also, when you look at this Fatsia spider's web, it looks quite miserable compared to the other Fatsia spider's web we've got here in the garden. And here is the other Fatsia spider's web, and as you can see, that is looking really good, but it's tucked away under the palms, so it just shows that microclimate has a very great impact. And this was the Trachycarpus fortunii I showed in the last video, looking a bit miserable. Well, now it looks dead. I've bought another one, not a fortunii, but a nova, because they should grow really fast and be just as hardy as fortunii. But I suppose that doesn't say much, considering that this one has died. And actually, several of our palms have done quite bad this winter. Here is a Trachycarpus wagneranus. It doesn't look too good, and its neighbor, another fortunii, doesn't look too good either, and it was actually fairly big, as you can see on the trunk. A bit disappointing, I think. The puppies are growing really fast. They're almost 5 months now, and they weigh 20 kilos. And to have 2 puppies at the same time is not at all twice as much work. Oh no, it's 5 times as much work. Cannot be recommended. It is also time to wake up the Cannas from their winter hibernation. What I do is I dig them up in autumn, and I actually divide them. I know that you're not supposed to do that until spring, but I overwinter mine in pots, in some old spent compost, and I just have them pots that are big enough when I dig them up, because they grow like mad in the garden during the summer, and they get huge, like bushes. So I divide them and overwinter them, and during the winter they only have a very small amount of water once a month. And when we get to springtime, as now, I check all the rhizomes for rot, take away the rotten parts, and I pot them up in fresh compost, and I put them in a room where the temperature is, I guess it's around 6 to 8 degrees in here. There's no lights, so at the moment they start sprouting, and there's actually one in the middle. I will put them somewhere where they can get light, and I'll start watering them a bit more. And that's how I overwinter my cannas. I do water them right after I've potted them up in fresh compost, but then I don't water them until I see new growth. And when they are about 5 to 10 centimeters tall, and I'm sure there won't be more frost, they will be planted out in the garden. The fish have come out of their winter hibernation. At the moment it's just the goldfish, because we have for the first time ever chosen to take the koi carps indoors. Every spring we have lost a few koi, and somebody said that it's because there are some koi that get damaged or something like that during winter, and then they die in spring. So this year we wanted to try something else, and until now they're all alive, so hopefully it'll stay that way. It won't be long before we do the yearly spring clean out of the pond. So at the moment it looks a bit tatty with lots of dead leaves and things, but that won't be long. So that was all for now. Thanks for watching.